How do you feel about the dating scene in 2024?
Non-existent.
Dating in your 40s is really for the bird.
New York dating scene sucks, so like here I think it would be so much better. New York is really just like fuck up.
Before this year, I was dating excessively. I was having sex with pretty much anyone who would validate me.
Right now, dating is...
Why is it always women without wedding rings giving out dating advice?
Dating scene in New York City is cuckoo banana.
Good guys or bad guys?
Good guys for the long run, bad guys for a good time.
Dating in 2024 is hard work, man.
Done fucking around with you guys, okay?
So if you're making...
These dating coaches and podcast needs to stop ruining these women. Welcome back. We ask that you subscribe to the channel. That's the only form of support we asked of you. Thank you.
I'll give you a tip. Date guys that you have no interest in at first. Practice with guys you wouldn't even be interested in at all. Just so there's no pressure. Because women, we want to be the chooser, not the chaser. And when you don't have attachment to anything, then you come off as very confident. That's very sexy and attractive to a man. And you'll get in the habit of being, I'm the chooser. Like, I don't even want you. Show me why I should want you. And you just start with like low level guys that you wouldn't date. And then you do that like 10 times. When a guy comes that you're interested in and you notice, you're like, oh my God, you get a needy and like, no. If I did it with all these guys, they're no different. This guy's no different. You managed it with them, you can manage it with him, you know?
Women that see this video do not, I repeat, do not listen to this advice. This is very stupid, ignorant, and unsafe. Women like this prey on the gullible types and desperate women. These are the same women that gaslight and cry about, men don't think women are human. All projection. Another classic example of women giving wrong, bad relationship advice to other women. If you stop dating American women and start dating in other places, you won't even talk to American women. This is how men and women end up damaged. But only women will put all the blame on the past partners. This is bad advice for women and a good outcome for men. There's a reason why this woman here isn't wearing a ring. This is a how to own many cats relationship advice. This woman is only leading multiple women to their doom and just adding on to the trauma. I guess it is true what they say. Women hate seeing other women happy.
Listen, just because you might have to let go of unrealistic expectations that don't actually matter or have any kind of contribution to your long-term happiness, like a man that's 6 feet tall and a man that already makes X amount of money, doesn't mean that the dating pool is dry and doesn't mean that men have it easier than women. It's just that women have a very fucked up perception of exactly what's going to make them happy. And honestly, they're dreaming small. A lot of people say that they're dreaming too high and need to lower their expectations. And I don't agree with that. They need to raise their expectations. And they need to look at what really matters, because you can get yourself a 6 foot something tall, 6-figure, well-cut, blah, blah, blah man. But that doesn't tell me anything about the way that he's going to lead you, care for you, protect you, cherish you, love you, stand by you, be loyal to you, lead you, and fucking fight for your goddamn kingdom. Okay?
I agree. Dating for men comparing to women is really hard. Honestly, men are really simple creatures. We don't really ask for much, but that's got to change. A lot of men today need to raise their standards when it comes to dating these modern women. That is, if you plan on dating a modern woman. But you have got to make sure they're bringing the same thing you are bringing to the table.
So if you're making $50,000, don't date. I'm just being for real. You're not ready to date.
Again, I'm with you.
You're not ready to date. You're not ready to date because courtship costs.
Okay.
Everything costs. Okay. You can go for 22 walks in the park. Eventually, shorty is gonna need a sip of something. She gonna be thirsty. This bottle of water is $3 in Atlanta. Let's not play. So if you don't have any expendable cash, don't date. And whatever that looks like for you, you might only make 50,000, but you live in a shoe, and now you got expendable cash. Or get you a bottom of the barrel bitch that's gonna date you when you have no money. If she doesn't have that expectation, and I'm gonna tell you this right now, enjoy it while it lasts, because eventually you're gonna wanna run. Because she doesn't stretch you, she doesn't make you the man that you need to become. She allows you to be the stagnant dude in the same jeans for days. You know what I'm saying?
Cutting up.
I'm just talking about me.
Money isn't everything to all women. Not every date has to be where you spend money. However, nice dates here and there are appreciated. I don't want materialistic things, I want effort, thought, love. The price of recording equipment needs to be raised. We can't feed her and her ego at the same time with 50K. How much you make doesn't always equate to low or high quality experiences. Financial literacy is a thing. So many women are going to remain single with this mindset. If you want to date the world's way instead of God's way, then by all means go with this narrative, completely out of order. If that's how it's going to be for men, it should be the same way for women. If a guy were to get on a podcast and said the exact same thing, he would have been labeled as a sexist. 50K just isn't enough to feed her.
Dating in 2024 is hard fucking work, man. Holy fuck. Why doesn't anyone communicate? If you just want to lay, just say. Fuck. But don't fucking lead me the fuck on, dickhead, because if you want a love bomb, bitch, I'll love bomb you back, bitch. You want a baby? I'll give you a motherfucking baby. So that's... Don't do it to me, boy. But it's just driving me crazy because you're fucking going nuts with... And the push-pull shit. I'm about to... Brr! So back to what I was originally saying. Dating is really hard in 2024. Just don't gaslight me, dickhead. Like, come on, son.
Dating is really hard for everybody, and it's just gonna keep getting harder. I personally think nobody is in the right place right now mentally to date. Everyone is just hurt. This generation of dating is bringing more pain than pleasant memories.
Can someone tell me why it still hurts even when like you're getting back into dating and you feel more mature and you end things with someone after like a couple of dates? And like I've been on like 3 dates recently, like 3 dates with 3 different guys, but I've gone on like second dates with all of them, second or third dates. And I ended it with one guy, the other guy ended it with me, but I was going to end it with him anyway. So that was mutual. And this other guy, you just can tell he doesn't feel it. And like, I thought that because I'm more mature and because it's mutual or because I'm making the decision that it would be less hard and I would be less sad because it's early on and stuff. But I think when it's just stacked on top of each other, like it adds up. Like, why am I crying? Like, does anybody else feel this way? Even just like when you feel like you're mostly healed and you're going back into dating, like why does it still fucking hurt? I hate it out here.
Now try getting rejected left and right and being played with like a guy in his mid-20s. Ha 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 ha. Welcome to dating in 2024. Yes, like it's so frustrating when things don't work out. Like I keep getting more and more disappointed with dating in general. But I'm trying to stay positive, my New Year's resolution. Dating is really hard as a sensitive and empathetic person. I feel you. I feel big emotions too. It's okay to feel sad when things don't work out. Not enough people consider that they might be the problem. Try just dating one person at a time instead of multiple. It's crazy how people serial date these days. This is a problem with some of these women. They're all dating with no intention behind it. And how do you even have the energy to date 3 people at the same time anyway? Modern dating is at its all-time low. It's not even worth it at this point.
Dating in your 40s is really for the birds because I really think my patients left when my kids left. Like my patients must have packed their bags, walked out the door along with the kids because I don't have it for none of these men out here. If you ask me for my number and then you don't reach out, I'm blocking you. If all you say when you text me is, hey, good morning, what you doing? What you been up to? How you been? How was your day? I'm blocking you. If you expect me to chase you, I'm blocking you. If you initiate a contact with me and it takes you longer than 2 to 3 days to respond, probably gonna get blocked.
A lot of people will start a conversation with someone and then lose interest out of nowhere. It happens all the time, especially to men. But a woman in her 40s that's dating today has got a challenge on her hand. It's just hard. Some of them say it's next to impossible. Why are you dating in your 40s anyway?
What do you think about the hookup culture?
The hookup culture sucks, especially in Miami. I feel like if you're a girl in Miami and you're hooking up with a guy, eventually like someone's going to catch feelings for someone else and it just like never works out. I feel like people have too many options here. Everyone's just everyone. I feel super used. I'm like really unhappy every time I hook up with someone and it goes absolutely nowhere. And then I just wake up the next day and it sucks. And then I call you and
Yeah.
talk to you about it.
Like the last girl that I went out with, she had a whole family and she didn't tell me. She had like a husband and a daughter and she was hiding it from me and didn't tell me the truth until I saw her screensaver on her phone.
What did you say?
Did you ever think the reason why you feel super used is because you keep sleeping around and spreading your legs to different men? This is how the trauma is built, hopping from men to men. And then, once they reach 40, they want to settle down.
Can we please take a minute to talk about college hookup culture? I feel like it gets swept under the rug so much, like not enough people talk about it. Personally, being 21 years old, I've always kind of found it like harder to relate to people in the dating world because I was always looking to go on like real dates and I've always just kind of been a relationship person. I mean, thankfully I have my great boyfriend now, so I'm not dating anymore, but I remember when I was single in college, it was brutal, man. I feel like everyone has commitment issues now. I don't know if it's because like the divorce rate's so high and it's just our generation. I don't know what, but it's kind of sad to me. Like I feel like people don't even try to like really get to know each other. It's just kind of like very superficial type relationships.
Facts. Hookup culture is a huge problem for our generation. I absolutely agree. Hookup culture psychologically changes the way we see commitment, and it's so sad. Now that I'm older and have been out of undergrad for 4 years, I look back on hookup culture and it's so oppressive. It's not empowering in that way. I am so glad I stopped settling for hookups. They just aren't for me. I'm so glad I have a boyfriend now. I wish commitment wasn't so rare in college. I did it thinking I'd be fine, and I got emotionally attached, and it destroyed me when it didn't become a relationship. It's just that I feel so many people have had their hearts broken and turned to hookup culture as an outlet. It's no wonder why everyone is so broken today. They're already so hurt from having multiple partners. One key thing these people forget while hooking up is the fact that they can catch diseases and infections. They're too busy lusting away to even realize that. They're just sleeping with a bunch of strangers without a care in the world.
Worst part about dating in 2024 is the toxicity that there is a next best thing. 2 years ago, you just married who you were geographically around. But now in 2024, we have so many options. And because of social media, it feels like there's always going to be that next person somewhere online, on the dating app, wherever. We are connected to so many people that our brain knows there's always more. There's always one more. I hate it so much, but that's why it feels so difficult to get focused on someone sometimes, because you can have a crush on someone and then if you keep swiping, then you meet more people, or if you go on social media, then you see these other guys. It's just a toxic cycle. Like sometimes I just want to be able to take all the dating apps and social media away while I'm talking to someone and just see it through. Not because anyone's doing anything wrong per se or on purpose, intentionally wrong, but because that's just the nature of the world we live in now, which makes me so sad. So if anyone has tips of how to combat that, please let me know.
There is no next big thing. People fail to realize that some people are so rare, you only ever get one chance to be with them. A lot of people have been taken for granted, and they've opted out of dating. Some of them say it's a waste of time. They're just putting in so much effort just to receive nothing back.
Why don't men approach me when I go out?
You want to dance with us?
No, I don't. Let me know.
Let's talk about hookup culture while solo traveling. It is definitely a thing, and if you are single and the least bit sociable or attractive, then you don't have anything to worry about. There's plenty of options out there. If you're in a relationship, however, and either yourself or your partner is solo traveling, then you gotta watch out, okay? There's guys that I know that have been disloyal to the partner, and they were like, oh, well, she don't gotta know. What? So, yeah, definitely watch out. It's not something to play around with. Word of caution.
You are lying to yourself about hookup culture. Casually hooking up and getting into situationships that don't go anywhere is unfortunately so toxic to you as a woman. But society has made you believe it's okay. It doesn't really matter. This is why it matters. Number 1, giving up your body adds to another layer of pain that's inevitably going to come when this man does not commit to you. Number 2, you're giving yourself up to a man who has his own history, who might operate from his own wounded places, who might create more insecurities for you, who probably has his own erotic thoughts and desires that might not even align to yours. Number 3, you're disconnecting to your body. Hookup culture makes you believe that you're going to get more experience. That's really not true. Every time you get into a new relationship, it's a new body to learn anyways. And what you should be learning is your own body, what feels good to you. Because the truth is, majority of women disconnect from their own bodies to connect to his.
Situationships are bad, but hookups can be fun. Don't expect commitment or exclusivity from a hookup. I actually like doing it. I don't really want a relationship. I just like getting attention. Everyone is different though. Yup. And yet there's still females out there telling other females to get more bodies. I stopped doing this, will never return, I'm going on a year, and I feel so empowered and valued. Most sick, toxic culture they brainwashed us into. We've been tricked. Sad many woke up way too late in life. We must save the younger generation from it. I only do hookups if there is one absolute deal breaker about them, so I know I'll never get feelings for them. From what I see so far, many people love it, and many people hate it. And the ones that love want to drag others down that path with them. There's a bunch of women promoting hookup culture to other women to go find themselves. Just because you're giving people access to your body doesn't mean you're finding yourself. You're just being passed around. They always seem to regret it when they want to settle down because they hold a very dark past.
I hate dating. Like, I genuinely hate it. Yes, I like being in love. Yes, I like meeting new people. But going through the whole, oh, where did you grow up? What do you want to do with your life? And explaining myself to people over and over and over again drives me insane. Like, you don't know how badly I just want to meet someone and love them for the rest of my life. Someone who just hits all my checkboxes. Loving, kind, ambitious, courageous, strong, knows what they're doing with their life, has goals, has a career in mind, knows what they want from a relationship, generous, humble, teachable, compassionate, hardworking, perseverant. So if someone can create a dating app where those guys are on it, sign me up.
This is why I stopped dating for an entire year. If you're new to this series, welcome. I stopped dating for a year and I had a glow up. Before this year, I was dating excessively. I was having sex with pretty much anyone who would validate me. And it was just getting to a point where I had little to no self-worth. All of this stemmed from trying to heal from previous trauma and continuing to attract toxic men into my life. There was one specific day where I finally realized that enough was enough and something needed to change because my career was suffering. I wasn't growing as a person. I had all this potential, but I was wasting it. I don't believe in restriction, but at the time, the most toxic part of my life was dating and was surrounding myself with the wrong types of men. For me, I didn't know how long it was going to be. I didn't know it was going to be a year, but I definitely needed a reset and I needed to start loving myself the way that I know I should be. Follow for more?
I actually have to give her some respect for waking up. There's still women today who are still sleeping. They're too busy sleeping around with a bunch of men and throwing their value away as a woman. They never seem to care when they're young, but as soon as they hit 40, it's a different story. All of a sudden, a new chapter of their lives begin. They get on a path to start looking for the good men.
Hey.
It's locked.
Oh, I know. Hey, listen, you look just like your pictures, but I had a couple questions. Are we going 50-50 on this meal?
No.
Oh, I guess that's okay. All right. And do you put out on the first date?
Definitely not.
Okay. Well, that's all I needed to know. Thank you.
Approach to dating in 2024 is that I won't be. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take the season off. We had a rough 2023, but I truly, genuinely wish everybody else the best.
Something that I'm frustrated about, specifically UCSB and hookup culture. And it's really hard to like actually get on serious dates here if you're more of a relationship person. Isla Vista is honestly just a cesspool of people f***ing. And honestly, I'm kind of over it. Kind of like looking forward to like when I'm like out of here and like men grow the fuck up.
But previously you said that you've not had any long-term relationships.
Yeah.
Aren't there guys that you know right now that would jump at the chance to be in a relationship with you?
No.
None?
No.
You don't have any guys in the friend zone?
I'm sure some guys have like tried to talk to me, but then I just like don't like them, or I don't find them attractive. Like,
see, I think that's the problem with, I mean, the complaints about hookup culture is the guys that a lot of women are chasing after, the top 10, top 20% of guys, of course, they're just going to say, come over. But there are guys that you don't find attractive that would be loyal, dutiful boyfriends, but they don't excite you. They're not a bad boy. They're not 6'5".
It's not because I like the bad boys or whatever. I like nice guys. But like there's no attractive nice guys because all the attractive guys are f***ing dicks.
Kind of things up, honestly. Do people really like hookup culture? I don't think so. I feel like
The men do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't really think they do either. I think they just feel I think it's just a way to, it's a coping mechanism for a sense of like emptiness. And I think for men specifically, hookup culture is one way that they have been able to find that instant gratification. For women, sometimes they can. It is more difficult just because we're women. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then like in my last relationship towards the end, I ended up honestly just becoming a shell of myself because I had no idea what I wanted. And so I was constantly just adapting to what he was giving you. Yeah, what he was giving me. Yeah. Really figuring out what I wanted has been like everything for me.
Right now, dating is harder than it has ever been. We have countless dating apps coupled with the distraction of social media, a society that is becoming increasingly more antisocial and extremely busy work lives. So why are we expecting people to figure out dating all on their own? None of us were born with a manual on how to date, and that is the reason that I became a dating coach, so that I could help people stop wasting time and learn how to date efficiently to find what they're really looking for. I have helped hundreds of single men change their approach and achieve their dating goals.
Apparently, she's the only one that was born with the manual to know how to date. First, I would like to say a man doesn't have a problem dating a woman, as long as he finds her attractive and she's loyal. Women are the complicated ones. Even on dating apps, they're only swiping to reach a certain guy. They complain they can't find a date, yet ignore all the guys that shoots their shot.
Guys are bad boys.
Yeah, bad boys.
Bad boys? Okay. First question. Good guys or bad boys?
Bad boys.
Okay.
Guys, predictable, boring. Next.
Guys, can we start asking girls out in person, or are girls gonna have to start doing it?
I think it would be a great idea if women started approaching men and asking them on dates. But that's not going to happen. Women love the thrill of a man chasing and pursuing her. But if women did approach, I'm pretty sure men would appreciate it.
Okay. Done fucking around with you guys, okay? The next man I'm sleeping with, bare minimum, his size has to be the same size as my Red Bull can that I drink every single morning. Where are you at?
What did you say?
How do you feel about the dating scene in 2024?
Non-existent.
I feel it's like similar to shopping. Too much dating apps, more live interactions. That's what we need more of. I don't like dating apps, so yeah. The real stuff.
It's hard. It's tough. Yeah. Girls are like
It's kind of different these days.
Okay, boys too.
It depends.
Okay.
Chirp. O sea.
Wow. It's wild out there, guys. Nobody knows what's going on, but it's fun. A lot of situationships. We're down for that.
I don't know how fun it
It's
is.
risky. No risk, no gain, I guess.
No risk, no reward.
There you go.
I'm having fun. This shit is wild.
It's good, huh?
That is good,
It's a
right?
wild, wild west.
Can we agree? It's good. Yeah.
Okay. She could have done better. I could not. Fun.
It'll do.
Some people have to
It'll do in a pinch, you know. It's fine. Hey, what's the dating scene like in New York?
Like everywhere else, shit.
Yeah, and this year?
Yeah, everywhere else for real. You from Miami?
Yeah.
It's the same shit.
Nowadays with hookup culture, it's so difficult to still have these ideas, to still have these standards because of the fact that it's so easy to fuck in this day and age. Everyone does it. Tinder, Hinge, whatever. It's so much easier to just sleep around that it's like, why would somebody wait around for you for 5-6 dates or whatever, you know, whatever it is that makes you feel comfortable, if they can just get it somewhere else easier, you know? We put so much value on a guy for sleeping with girls. So obviously, what do they want to do? They want to sleep with as many girls as they can. And then now we're telling girls, like, it's okay, you could sleep with whoever you want. So then now all these people are just sleeping with each other and then there's no value left. We don't value a guy because in the past, you know, it's like a guy had to like work to get you on a date. They had to be perfect. They had to do all this stuff. And
So
now a guy
I
doesn't
see
even
it-
need to open a door for you.
So I've been single now for 8 months and I feel like 2024 is my year to get back into dating again. So I'm getting back on Miss Hinge. But first and foremost, I need to do a big profile refresh. I also updated a couple of my pictures because some of them were a little old. Okay, so much better. So I'm really looking for that I want to love you and spoil you until we're really old type of relationship, you know? So let me know how I did. And I'd love any tips you have for using Hinge to find a serious relationship too.
Hey, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and she is so disheartened with the dating scene. And I'll say I have my own misgivings too. It's been very interesting. We're in the Atlanta market, and if you are at all aware, it's real special down here. But she's been dating for the last 2 years post-divorce, and she texted me yesterday and said, "I'm done." I said, "No." You've just scratched the surface." She said, "No, I'm done. I'm done." She said, "I'll live vicariously through you and all the other folks and friends." She said, "I can't do this anymore." And I think it's just really disheartening because she is a beautiful girl, beautiful woman with a wonderful spirit, great character. And I think what all of us kind of in similar situation are finding is that there's too much craziness out here. Too many people are into polyamorous situations, dating multiple women, multiple guys at the same time. Nobody seems to care that they're sharing. Nobody wants to be exclusive. Marriages are down per the statistics. And what you find is that people that are married are willing to step out, be it men or women, just to see if there's some excitement out there. And I'm like, it's working towards having that one person, building that safety, building that connection, building that love, intimacy is just, I mean, where is that nowadays? I mean, it's really, really sad to me that this is the position that we're in. And those of us who actually still want to find, that one person, it's become a real challenge. But I tell you, I'm sad to see that, good folks are just throwing in the towel at this point because they're tired. They're tired. And I get it. Shameful.
Like I said before, in 2024, people should be healing themselves. At least that's what I believe. If even married couples are still trying to entertain other people out here, it makes you wonder, what's the point of getting married? It's no wonder why the divorce rate keeps increasing. Everyone is still trying to find the next best thing. Another thing is, social media plays a big role in the help of destroying dating today. Focus on yourself.
Whose fault is hookup culture?
I think it's definitely women, because if women weren't putting out, then men wouldn't have the ability to, and so there wouldn't be any hookup culture.
Exactly.
So it's because women are putting out and having sex with more men more frequently, they are controlling that. And men are obviously going to take it, because what else are they going to do? They're just going to, not take it? Like what?
Hey, listen, the fish market can't be open if there's no fish for sale.
Word?
York dating scene sucks. So like here, I think it would be so much better. New York is really just like hook up, like everyone is moving, like no time to really commit. I feel like here is definitely more of a relationship city.
Do you have like a memorable first date experience?
My most memorable is like Thanksgiving Eve. I like randomly decided to go on a date with a boy and we like bar hopped. It was a lot of fun.
Open wide, it's time for a hard pill to swallow. If you're dating in 2024 and you're struggling because you feel like the nicer you are to people, the less they like you, it's because you are not dating people who want to date people who like them. It's fucking impossible right now. Because the apps give you this like illusion of choice that make possibilities seem endless. And so it's gonna force a lot of us into a space where we feel like we have to date multiple people at one time to stay properly detached. And I spent most of my life dating people who didn't want to date people who actually liked them. And so I actually succeeded by being disinterested. And I would be in long-term relationships with these people. If you're a lover girl, that's fucking hard. It's hard to act disinterested in someone that you love for years. There are hot, talented, successful people who want to date people who like them. And you can tell because they'll think your disinterest is a turnoff. I'm so fucking in love right now and I didn't even know I could love this much. And it's fucking rewarded. It's reciprocated and rewarded. Godspeed. You got this.
Dating without intention will get you nowhere. She even said it herself. She spent most of her life dating people. She never asked herself, why am I dating these people? Where do I want to go with this? A lot of these women only have themselves to blame, really. The one person that would date and take them serious are invisible to them.
Finding the one is not about finding somebody with no flaws, a relationship with no issues, or finding somebody that will mold into anything you want them to be. At the end of the day, the one is just somebody that wants to make it work with you and you want to make it work with them. That is it. And I emphasize work because I think that the main problem people are having in dating today is that people don't really want to work for anything anymore. People don't want to work for money, they don't want to work on themselves, and they don't want to work in relationships. And it's usually the misconception that things should never be hard that causes people to break up. I have never heard of a married couple in my entire life that said their entire relationship has been easy. So when you are looking for the one, find somebody that is willing to put in the work.
I completely agree. That's why I always say, find someone who's on the same page as you. Someone who you share the same dreams and goals with. A lot of people come into relationships and not willing to put in the work. Whenever things starts getting hard, they threaten to leave, or they actually leave the relationship. Marriage is continuous work. Women leave 80% of the time when things gets hard. I really be wondering if it was love after all this time. You've come so far, why quit now?
What are your thoughts on hookup culture in college?
I think that's the only culture there should be. I don't believe in relationships in college. I'm just saying. Find yourself and then be in a relationship. Until
okay,
then,
that's...
Be a whore.
Okay. You have me at...
Hey little sisters, let's talk about dating. I hear a lot of y'all talking about it's ghetto out here. And trust me, I know. I've been there. I know it is. However, where are you going to meet a quality man? You're not going to meet him in a club. You're not going to meet them at a lounge. Place yourself in the right settings like happy hours at high-end hotels or 5-star restaurants. They're quality men frequent. I'm also not opposed to online dating. That way you can weed out who's not for you and date who is. But before you put yourself out there, make sure you're well put together. Not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. Remember, you are what you attract.
What are your thoughts on hookup culture on campus versus dating?
I think dating is definitely a bigger task just because there's so much, so the hookup culture is so prevalent, so it's like kind of difficult, but it's something that you need at certain moments of your life. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm not like a big lover of hookup culture. Like, I like a cute little relationship, but I think right now it's fun to experience and things are just gonna happen when they're gonna happen.
What's something you wish that guys knew that girls are thinking?
I feel like they know what we think. I think they know what we think and they play dumb. I disagree. And if you don't know that we know all. So don't try to lie. Stop lying. Stop lying. I think they just don't care enough, but they don't know. They don't care enough to know.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about hookup culture. How it leaves you empty, how it leaves you feeling completely drained. When you try to be in this generation's way of dating and you just hook up with people because that's how you feel in the moment, and then you wonder why you feel depressed and drained after the fact because you just gave the most vulnerable piece of yourself away to a person you don't even know for temporary satisfaction, for temporary numbing. For someone who actually is connected with themselves and wants something deep like love, you just having shallow connections and shallow intimacy with people leaves you feeling empty. It leaves you feeling drained. It leaves you feeling numb. It leaves you feeling absolutely nothing. And then you keep going in the cycle because you keep trying to replace those empty feelings with more hookup, with more hookup, with more dopamine hits. But we wonder why dating is so broken right now when most people are just literally not valuing intimacy at all.
True intimacy is so much deeper than the physical. Soul connections, casual hookups. Better to be alone and healed, rather than be temporarily fulfilled, hurts yourself and the other person. No wonder why dating is dead. No wonder why there's a men and women loneliness out there in the dating world. I believe that every one of them has lost a very important part of themselves just sleeping around for fun and excitement. No good man nor good women are able to date each other because everything is just upside down. Take care of yourself, because when you fall, the kingdom fall as well.
You're the most beautiful, funny, loving girl I've ever met. You're perfect. But I want to see if I can try and find someone better.